Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of STSL Off the Track. And that is right, I'm back once again to host. Of course, I've been gone the last couple of weeks. Nafijan was taking over, but we're here back. We're back here once again to talk about a lot of things that literally just happened in the span of 3, 4 days. Actually, we'll get to all of that soon. Everything that happened last weekend, everything including today, certain experiences, certain driver controversy. In a brand new truck, we also have to talk about. Plus, the other things we have to talk about. The monster truck. It was having a tough time this past weekend, not just in Jam. Of course, everybody is well aware of that. But we had the other two. I believe the other was Wars, and I think the other was Too Extreme. Excuse me. But anyway, back here once again today is co-host Nafajan.
That is right. This is what many of our viewers would consider a very much anticipated episode of Off the Track. So, a lot of good discussion to be had over the next few minutes.
And back here tonight is Jackinator.
Super glad to be back. I am a little bit under the weather today, so if I sound a little funky, that's why. But we have some big discussions to be had.
Okay. Not only that, he is back. He's been gone for the last several weeks due to personal reasons. It is Door Z. Welcome back, my man.
Yeah, it's literally been, I believe, this 7 weeks. I think the last episode I did was week 9, so it's great to be back. And what a way to come back to what happened today.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're going to definitely want to talk about most of this. But anyway, we're going to kick it off with, of course, sports world. There's, of course, a lot of things that happened lately. One of those was the NFL draft. Not for Jen, what happened?
Yes, that is right, and I'll get you all involved in this as well. But what's going on in the sports world? First of all, it is the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The next generation of football talent figuring out where are they going to go next to begin their professional journeys. To highlight the top 5 picks in the NFL draft, starting off with number 1, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza. What a surprise! No, it wasn't. We knew this for several months, but really looking forward to seeing how he does. Definitely deserving to be number 1. David Bailey, edge rusher out of Texas Tech, was selected second overall to the New York Jets. Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. That was surprising. Tennessee Titans select Cardinal Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Would have liked to get an offensive tackle, but can't go wrong with adding another offensive weapon. And another Ohio State man, Arvell Reese, linebacker, was selected 5th overall by the New York Giants. That is your top 5, but I want to get your guys' input on how you feel about your teams and some of the players that they drafted. So, not all at once. How do you guys feel about your team after the draft?
Uh, I feel, well, first off, my team is the Broncos, and we drafted like one person. I feel like we didn't really care this much in the drafts this year around because we actually did more in the trades. Like I think it's a month now that we got Jalen Waddle. I don't know exactly who we got in the draft, but I know we got literally just one person. Other than that, I think we're fine. Just one person is okay, but like I said, it was the trades that was more critical. Like I said, we got Jaden. We got Waddle. That's what I'm saying. Um, and yeah, I think we'll be just fine. I think it's just once the season starts, we'll see how we do. Dorsey, your Patriots. What do you think?
Yeah, we drafted an offensive tackle first round, Caleb Lamu from Utah. I think that is pretty not surprising. I think we definitely needed more offensive tackles because Drake May over here was getting killed at the end. But yeah, I think it's okay. And our coach is in some controversy too, but that's uh that's another thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure y'all having fun with that Mike Vrabel situation.
Yeah, no, everything's fine.
How about you, Jackinator?
No,
Any thoughts about the teams you may follow?
no clue, honestly. I couldn't say anything about anyone, but we'll see what happens. I watched the Super Bowl, so I got like 9 months to figure it out.
Yeah, Definitely looking forward to seeing how the next group of young players can do in their first season in the NFL. That's it for football. Now we transition to college basketball as some big news came out as both the men's and women's March Madness tournaments will be expanding starting next year, unfortunately. They were once 68 teams. Now it's going to be 76 teams, which is absolutely insane. I don't know why we need it because the previous version was perfect. Well, as a matter of fact, 64 was perfect. I don't know why I went to 68, and now we're adding 8 more teams to the mix. So, yippee! Now we're moving on to motorsports as NASCAR's historic race at Talladega Superspeedway. It was a Jack Link's 500. Oh my goodness, a lot of wrecks, a lot of crazy racing. And at the end of the day, it was Carson Hocevar getting the win in number 55. Actually, no, he got 55 points to number 77. Absolutely incredible finish in that race. Yeah, somebody's excited for the Hocevar victory. Chris Buescher finishing second place. Alex Bowman number 3. Fourth place was Chase Elliott. And number 5 was Zane Smith. So that wraps up your top 5. Once again, congratulations to Hocevar. They will next race in Texas Motor Speedway on Sunday at the Worth 400, presented by Licky Moly, if that's how you present the or how you pronounce the sponsorship. But this past, I think yesterday actually, was the WWE NXT event. So I want to hand this over to the wrestling guys. Did you catch this event, and what were your big takeaways if you did watch it?
Well, I think the NXT show brought a lot of new wrestlers into the mix because there was also, speaking of fire-ins, there was a lot of fire-ins that just happened in WWE too that are pissing people off. So seems like two things are happening here this week. But a bunch of new call-ups from I'm forgetting what that show is called. That is it
LF,
Evolved, I
LFG
believe.
or Evolved.
Oh yeah, LFG.
I don't know.
I
They
know
have
like one
like
of them.
so many side shows. Like one's on Tubi, the other
Yeah.
is up. Yeah, they're all on Tubi or something. I don't even know.
I know like one of them was like someone named Evil, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then I think like Maxine's boyfriend was one of them. I forgot his name, but yeah, shout out to all those new wrestlers making it onto NXT. Now,
Yeah.
see which one of them will be the next new star.
Yeah. Also, quick shout out to Lizzie Rain, who I think is a niece to one of the Iron Maiden's members. Actually, she just made her debut as well. Right after Sol Ruka already left NXT for the main roster. But Lizzie Rain already looks to be like a big star. She has a great gimmick too. I ain't gonna lie, but we'll see what the future holds for her in NXT so far. Talk about the talk about the firings real fast too. So off the top of my head, I remember it's Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Kyrie Sane. Now Kyrie Sane is definitely the one where people are definitely uh, rioting for the most. Who are the other ones that also were fired? Santos Escobar, I believe, was one of them.
Yes, a few that I was kind of disappointed with was the Wyatt Six. All six of them are gone, or all five of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Motor City Machine Gun really ticked me off because I always loved them as a tag team, and they just didn't do anything with him. So with them, but unfortunately, they
Apollo Crews too, but
I
I feel like that one was just like it was bound to
yeah,
happen. But I feel like they had nothing for that guy, so it was like, yeah, he had to go.
I can't think of anything else, but I feel like those are the major ones.
Yeah, I know Thea Trinidad, aka or FKA at this point. Zelina Vega was unhappy about the announcement because Sean Ross Sapp was the first to break the news, and she was unhappy about that. That she wanted to break the news for herself, but I mean, once the news come out, someone has to break it, and she probably was gonna take like a day on it to settle in for herself. But I mean, they have to make it be announced either way. But sucks for Zelina and Alistair. Uh, Alistair was also Malachi Black in AEW, so maybe we'll see him back in AEW once their 90-day compete clause ends for both of them. They had something going on, and they were supposed to be involved with the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton WrestleMania feud, but unfortunately they changed it for Pat McAfee. That gives you more reason to be mad about. Kyrie Sane, like I said, is definitely one that people are really rioting for because she was one of the best backstage segment characters with Asuka and Io Sky always getting yelled at. I also know she was also fun in the ring. So yeah, I'm actually gonna miss Kyrie. Um, as well as for the White Sox. Now I kind of do. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but at the same time, they really had nothing for them either. Like, I guess they struggled to find something for them. Even when I saw them in Denver a few months back, they were just there. Actually, when I saw them in 2024 Raw and last year in SmackDown, they were there for just like their usual thing. Like, they go up on stage, just taunt their enemies, and they didn't have a whole lot, which is the sad part. So it sucks to see the White Sox go, but I think it's kind of best for it because they really struggle. Really struggle to do things with them, like have an actual storyline for them. I know they're meant to be a tribute to Bray Wyatt, but I that's where they really struggle is how to make it fitting, how to make it appropriate. Not saying that it wasn't, but I'm also saying like it was just really struggling for a faction as a whole. Uh, Motor City Machine Guns, yeah, it sucks, but I feel like we're gonna see them back in TNA pretty soon because that's where they came from. Actually, a lot of people actually either released from NXT or the main roster have also jumped ship to TNA. So maybe we'll probably see the Motor City Machine Guns back on their home turf of TNA. But yeah, final thoughts on the firings.
Yeah, there's definitely some big names, but a lot of them were kind of expected.
Yeah, and Nafij, anything else we got to bring up?
I don't think so. I did get my tickets for WWE Monday Night Raw, which will be in Knoxville, Tennessee on May 11th. So I'm pretty excited for that. That's going to be my first ever WWE event I've ever gone to. So we're looking forward to seeing some of the big stars like CM Punk, Ray Ripley, Logan Paul, Liv Morgan, maybe a few others. So I'm pumped.
Okay, they're about to fire Logan Paul because Joe Hendry's the best.
If I see Joe Hendry there, I will
Oh, you'll
He's
celebrate.
on
have.
Raw
Oh,
now.
he's on Raw now. Yeah, you'll get to see him. I think he
Oh,
just got the call up this last Monday.
Yeah, but he called out Logan Paul, which was the best segment of that day.
hold on, I gotta see this for myself. Oh, not listed on the website yet, but if he is there, I'm gonna be pumped.
Yeah, wrestling lineups is not like a monster truck lineup. They're not 100% guaranteed. But if you do, you will love Joe Henry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
All right, so I believe that'll be it for the sports segment. We're now moving on to the trucks from last week number 17 of the Monster Truck 2026 season, starting off with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow and Fire in Baton Rouge, was it again? I'm so
Baton
bad at
Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Okay, thank you. This was Hot Wheels, of course, the East Coast lineup. So same lineup as always. Guadalajara, Mexico, was also having a Monster Trucks Live Glow and Fire show. Can you all still hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Yup.
Okay, just making sure. Making mic test 1 2. Guadalajara, Mexico for Hot Wheels. Of course, this was a bit of a mix of the international lineup with some of the. Yeah, this is like a bit of a mix of the overseas lineups with a few new names, of course, to Hot Wheels this last weekend. Bigfoot driven by Darren Schnell, Bone Shaker Chris Keys, Gunkster with Vern House, Mega Rex Anthony Brunner, Rhinomite Shane Freed, Skullosaurus. This is, of course, the veteran chassis driven by Travis Groth, getting a whole makeover, which I, as a veteran fan, did not enjoy that. Tiger Shark with Tyler Groth as well. And that was the lineup for Guadalajara. Next up is Monster Truck Thunder in Bishop, California. The lineup includes Boss Gator, Brian Leach, Carolina Crusher, Andy Cyber, Rampage Stanley Hernandez pulling double duties, also driving his truck Werewolf. Cordova, Tennessee, Monster Truck Wars. Lineup included Locomotive Justin Murphy, Outlaw, Adam Wilson. Shark Attack, Jerry Ferrochter. I still didn't even know what the last name is. I don't even know. It changes a lot. T
I don't
Rex,
know either.
T Rex, Devin Jones. And then Canton, Ohio. Locomotive with Colton Budd and Chris Watley. Outlaw Brandon Pizzo. Shark Attack Kelly Angstrom and T Rex Colton Fowler. Was Canton the show where the light pole got ran over?
Yes, it was.
Uh-oh. And it was T Rex. Am I right?
Yep, another Monster Truck Wars thing, not beating the unsafe allegations.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, surprised since this wasn't a Wickenbach moment, if everybody remembers that. Those two
Yep.
moments, those two times. Or RJ when he took out electric line a couple years back, I think. But yeah, T Rex ran over a pole, nothing too serious, and fortunately, no one was hurt. The driver was safe as well, as far as we know. No other reports happened from wars. Other than that, next up is Monster Trucks All Out and Barry, Ontario. Bucking Bronco Kevin Lubson, Outfox Jim Pigeon, Robo Shark Sharon Lubson, and T Rex. Wow, a Wars truck in Canada. Okay, with Mike Worsley. Next up is Mayhem Monster Truck Tour in Leesville, Louisiana, with Crazy Heifer, Cody how do a dick guess? Okay.
I guess Adikas or something like
Adikas?
that.
I-
Yeah.
Something like that. Hold on, sorry. Anyway, sorry, I was getting a text message just on my phone and just had to see who that was. Fire Hazard, Chris Davis, King Crunch, Dylan Finley, and Nitro Hornet, David Smith, the King Crunch legend himself. Monster Trucks Unleashed in Sydney. Ooh, I don't know which part of Australia this is. Notfagen, you know?
Let's just call it Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. All right, cool. With Blazed, Brock Thomas. Brock Thomas doing triple duties. If you thought Stanley Hernandez was crazy, Brock, I mean, mind you, there's not enough drivers in Australia, but Brock Thomas doing triple duties for Blazed Buddy and Executioner, Michael Stratt for Miss Mayhem, and Hayden Francis with Raptors Rampage, Wacky Doo with Jack Monkhouse, and also driving the Wicked name, of course, the famous KCM identity. Wind Vineyards for the. Whoa. I like how we get harder names as we go through the years. Tappahannock, Virginia. Black Stallion, Mike Vaughters. Killer Bee, Joe Jenkins. Overkill Evolution, Mike Vaughters Jr. and Walking Tall with Tyler Wind II. Marysville, California with the Malicious Monster Truck Tour. Also, talk about Malicious. They just rolled out with their brand new line of toy monster trucks. Of course, those being Rockstar, which is a truck, and I believe a few others. Mixed Up was one of them. That toy actually looks pretty good. The body looks really good, other than Rockstar. But anyway, the lineup includes Elbows Up, Joe Briggs, Identity Theft, Sam Steinhauer, Mixed Up, Miles Parker, Rockstar, Bill Payne, and Spitfire, Garrett Grams. 2X Monster Trucks Live Tour in Kansas City, Kansas. The hometown of the team, of course, being driven. Bounty Hunter being driven by Jimmy Crean, the two-time World Finals champion. Brutal, Jeremiah Paris. Jackal on High with Corey Keinel. Roan Rex, Mike Nugent. Scarlet Bandit with Don Crean. And Shark Bite with Darren Miguez.
Oh,
Yeah, there's no Dan.
Dan the man.
There's no Dan the man, but I guess he really wants that nap, and he kind of deserves it. He looks really tired. Anyway, talk about Shark Bite. Actually, talk about 2X. It was announced the week before. Actually, it was announced over the weekend that Batman legend himself, John Seasock, will be behind the wheel. He is supposed to drive Shark Bite, I believe, here either the next upcoming week or the next few weeks, and then he
got moved to T-Rex, I believe.
Huh?
I think he got moved to T-Rex, but yeah.
Yeah, Roaring Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was this show, but it's gonna be in the next upcoming ones. this next few weeks. But John Cusack made that announcement. Other than that, that was Kansas City. Next up is Renegade Monster Trucks in Gaithersburg, Maryland. This is, of course, a classic lineup with a classic fairgrounds arena. Of course, if you're familiar with Regs and Rods, there's a few maps with the same fairground arena of Gaithersburg. So the lineup includes for Renegade. Oh boy, I feel like this is a death wish right here. Crush Station Greg Weckenbach, Illuminator Daniel Donnelly, Jurassic Attack Preston Collins, Lumberjack Zach Wickenbach, Stinger Unleashed, CJ Ritu, Toxic Corey Snyder, Velociraptor Preston Perez, and War Wizard RJ Turner. The reason why I say Death Wish is Crustacean, Stinger, Lumberjack, and War Wizard. Like, they've all had accidents of some sort. Yes, when we were talking about the wires and all that stuff, the accidents, those four are literally like the horsemen of monster truck accidents, or like near close calls. But that was a Gaithersburg lineup. Next up is all the jam shows we have this past weekend. So we're going to start off with Always West, as I always go through that one first. And of course, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, that being Mr. Blake Granger, two-time World Finals champion. So starting off in Huntsville, Alabama, in the Von Braun Center, of course, we're Arena West. Starting off with your show one winner, your racing winner is El Armando Castro El Toro Loco, defeating Gravedigger. Skills goes to El Toro Loco, freestyle goes to Dalmatian, but the overall goes to Armando Castro El Toro Loco. Show two, your racing winner is once again El Toro Loco, this time defeating Dalmatian. Skills, it goes to Blake Granger and Dalmatian. Freestyle is Dalmatian, and getting the overall is Blake Granger and Dalmatian. Show 3, your racing winner, 3 for 3 is El Toro Loco, this time defeating Cliff Turner Velociraptor. Skills goes to Dalmatian, freestyle Dalmatian once again, but the overall just 2 points above Dalmatian is El Toro Loco with the 20. And we gotta address this one. So of course, Huntsville was not live streamed. They do have a scoreboard, but I don't know why exactly they didn't do this. They do have cameras, they do have all that, but I don't know why exactly they didn't. But show 4, your racing winner is El Toro Loco, defeating this. He's 4 for 4? What? Yeah, Armando's definitely winning the series after this. El Toro Loco defeats Carson Williams Thunder Warriors. Skills goes to Dalmatian. And freestyle. Now, we got to talk about two things here. It isn't just about the one that went straight through the tunnel. It's also the other one that almost went to the wall as well. So first on, we have to talk about is, of course, Blake Granger and Dalmatian. Now, we all have seen the different angles of this rack, and it didn't look pretty. It is a absolute butt clenching watch. I'm not even like putting it light. It is a hard watch. It's scary, absolutely scary to watch. So in his freestyle run, he mashes the gas through the pod, and he hits the other side of the pod, going on over on the roof and going from side to side, and going straight through the tunnel. Luckily, no official or anyone, no crew member, no official was right there at the tunnel, but he goes right through the tunnel, which is absolutely scary to see. I know we've all seen the video. What were you guys' reactions to this?
Well, this was just all around a very scary situation. I mean, I thought Blake Granger honestly would learn from previous mistakes in the season in terms of like sending it too much in small arenas, like clearing the pod and whatnot. But I feel like this could have gone like I feel like the blame could be split. First of all, Blake Granger, whenever he did clip the pod, he could have like hit the brakes, just rolled over forwards and prevented it from getting much worse. A lot of people saying like the officials shut him down, but overall, this just a very bad situation to look at because one, monster trucks aren't just supposed to fly out of the tunnel. And if you saw, there was some fiberglass pieces that came off as he was flipping up. If you could imagine like a windshield or fiberglass pieces flying off the truck and going into the stands, that would have been 10 times worse. But luckily, the body did stay intact, but that was just a very bad situation. And we'll talk a bit more about like the aftermath, like what happened to Blake. But I'll pass it on to y'all others about your reactions to it.
When I first saw the video, I legit almost clenched. Like that was probably the most insane crash we've ever seen. Not since like Alex Blackwell's crash in like World Finals, because you rarely seen the truck actually go into the tunnel like that, especially on its hood. Uh, but yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot better, but I don't know. That was just a awkward landing. He clipped that pod, and truck went sideways. And I don't know if there was a lot he could have done, but who knows at this point.
Yeah, the second I saw that video, first thing that crossed my mind is we're cooked. I even remember I was at the gas station when this happened. My dad came to the car and I said, dude, Blake's getting fired. There's no way. I mean, and what's it been? A good 5 decades of monster trucks. I don't believe that there has ever been a time that a truck crashed out of an indoor venue. It's a 1 in a million thing, quite literally. So many things could have gone differently. Fortunately, from what we're aware of, there was no venue damage. So, that's always a good sign. Good that none of the people that were in all directions, right where the crash was, it's good that no one got hurt, again, to our knowledge. Um, it is a real bummer, though, to see Blake go. I've been arguing pretty much all season that he is the best driver current day. And, I had a blast seeing him in Tucson. I got to see him become a world champion. So I can't complain. I did get to see him a lot, but it does suck to see him go. He was really a top talent. But, I mean, and this is going to go back to something Nuffingen, I believe you said. He has been such a repeat offender this year. And I know they've definitely told him to calm down at least once. And, he just kept going all out. And sometimes this is just the price you got to pay for that.
Yeah, Jack couldn't have really said any better. So I was just scrolling through my Facebook, and of course, a lot of the controversies is that a lot of people are really fed up with Monster Jam. I mean, y'all are kind of stretching it. It is none of your. I mean, it's not really of anyone's concern. Yes, it sucks that something like that happened, but I going through one of the posts. I find Luke Clark, actually the STSL owner, original STSL owner, and also Monster Jam Tech official. He did comment on a post. He said, "You can't be driving a 12,000-pound machine." And sorry, I quote: "You can't be driving a 12,000-pound machine like that in arenas." He's been reckless like that a lot lately, and he was previously warned. I love the guy, and he's been a good friend of mine. But for years, unfortunately, it's hard to argue with this one. I think he actually puts it really nicely as well. Like, it is well documented, really, through live streams, through fan recordings, that Blake Granger has been dangerously reckless this last year. Even in Arnhem, I mean, it was, even though it was a bigger floor, he really was driving like he was driving like if he was Tim Jones. Like, even Tim Jones doesn't really drive like this. I know they say like he drives it like he stole it, but Blake literally drove it like he did steal it. And he was very reckless. We're not holding him down to that either. We're not let him get away with this. I know he got away with Max D, and as soon as he got to Dalmatian, that's where he kind of started to kick in. And mind you, he got a new chassis this year. That's where he was really breaking into it, literally breaking it. So yeah, a lot of fans right now are unhappy at the possible. It's not really 100% confirmed. They did pull down his pages his page from the Monster Jam website. While it is not 100% confirmed, he did seemingly confirm himself that he has probably been fired. Someone did say that he is looking to make a post about that tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I think you might as well take this. I think you want to take Monster Jam's side on this one. If let's, I know actually Brett put it very good a little while ago too. If this was, I mean, Weston kind of drives like an ass. Excuse my French, but yes, it is also true. Weston drives almost the same way, breaking the truck literally. And Weston, just because he is Anderson, he doesn't almost get in trouble. Uh, like if he were to crash into the wall, nothing would happen to him. He would come back squeaky clean, like nothing happened. Maybe a replacement for like a week or two, but like no firing there because he is Dennis's kid. Blake, however, is no one's kid. He is himself. I know he was Team XD and everything, but not even Tom could defend him there. Um, so yeah, it's a little, it's just a weird controversy for him especially. But wrecking through the tunnels and almost completely out of his control. He like Nafajin did say, he did brake right there, but the truck was already spinning out of control and went straight through the tunnel. Which absolutely could have been worse because Matt Cody also had a similar wreck where he almost touches the wall. He does not go through the tunnel, fortunately, but he almost did wreck straight into the wall. It does land on all fours, where Dalmatian didn't. But yeah, it is a very serious situation to set in that I think you're gonna want to take Monster Jam's side on for once. The fans are kind of losing this argument for once, but they always kind of do. Uh, but yeah, I think I'm not saying he deserves the firing. Kind of, I don't, you know, think he really deserves it. But for something like that to happen, and there's been a few cases where monster truck accidents happen, and there's been a few. Like someone mentioned earlier was Alex Blackwell's wreck in World Finals where he went up to stands. Joe Dennis's as well a few years back, also with Dalmatian and Pittsburgh. Um, so yeah, I think I'm not saying it's 100% deserved, but I think it's for the best. It's really for the best, and everyone was like, "Oh, you should have gone to stadiums, this and that." It's like not everyone gets a stadium call up, uh, immediately. Which sure for Blake he should have, but would I have changed anything in the case he like say he landed on a truck and say a driver was still inside? Like we've seen that probably happen almost a few times this year, Bari. Um, but still, it's like, yeah. So final thoughts on this?
I'm just in the middle of the decision that was made with Blake Granger. Like, yeah, monster truck drivers do make mistakes, and I was just expecting this to be like a suspension or something like that, but this just completely turned into him getting the spiked boot, like never coming back to Monster Jam ever again. So I can understand, like maybe he could have been given another chance, but at the same time, I mean, you've been in Monster Jam for several years now, and like one of the top tier drivers of Monster Jam right now, and you can't be doing stuff like that. Like it is unacceptable. It gives Monster Jam a bad look, even more of a bad look than what they did ultimately with Blake Granger. Like you can't be driving like that, especially in small areas. So on one hand, maybe he could have been given some grace, but at the same time, like you can't be doing that in arenas.
Yeah. Anyone
Yeah, I
else?
100%
Go
agree
ahead.
with that. It's it's for me, it's the fact that this has happened so many times this year, and this just what happened to be the one that the straw that broke the camel's back. And in my opinion, I do think in part, maybe part of it was the track. To see both Matt and Blake have virtually the exact same crash in the same day, maybe it was with the pod, but Blake has had plenty enough moments this year to know that just going all the way on the gas, the second that truck gets hiked up, it's never worked for him. He's had enough, repeated moments to be able to rethink that, and he didn't. And so this is just the natural outcome of that decision.
Dorsey, any final thoughts?
Um, I don't know. I think the firing was a bit too harsh. I definitely expected a suspension. I don't think he should have been completely let go, but I don't know. The Bell's just been making so many questionable decisions, and I think everyone's just fed up with them. And I think this is what broke the camel's back and why everyone's really pissed off because of what happened with Tristan earlier this year. And I don't know.
Yeah, suspension compared to Tristan for a move versus Blake on a venue damage, possible injury, even maybe worse. Um, I see where they're coming with this, but it is a little hard. Yeah, maybe I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what Blake has to say tomorrow. I think he's finally called it a career, unfortunately. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, to wrap up Huntsville, guess who won the overall for this one? Carson Williams sent the Royals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carson.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go.
throughout the entire show, he finished in the semifinals. So he would technically finish fourth, I think, third, tied for third. I don't know how racing works sometimes. Finishes third in skills and finishes third in freestyle. Also, forgot to mention, Dalmatian also wins freestyle somehow. I I need to see footage from this show. Thunder Rose finishes third in almost everything and got himself the overall. Just 1 point over Dalmatian. I believe this is his second overall or first overall.
I
I
believe this
feel
is his
like
first.
I thought he got one before, but maybe that was
Oh,
a
are
few
you
years
talking about
back.
this year or
Yeah,
years
this year
ago?
alone.
This is his first this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know he got a racing win and back in Denver dropped an F bomb on accident. That was fun. Um, but yeah. So Carson Williams to wrap up. Huntsville wins, and overall in a through consistency actually. So other than that, through the controversy for mostly Blake Ranger, we'll see you down the road, buddy. But next up, we'll be going over to which one was Freestyle Mania again?
That was Evansville, Indiana.
All right, so we'll be going over to Evansville, Indiana. Who was taking over again?
That is me.
All right, so Nafijan, take it away. What happened there?
All right, so Monster Jam making their return to Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana for 3 events this week. Now, it wasn't really, I guess, a Freestyle Mania weekend because we didn't have Freestyle Mania FMX. So just the time racing skills and freestyle with Weston Anderson, Brianna Mahan, and the Send It and Telechka trucks. So 6 truck weekend. So JCB Racing winner on Saturday afternoon. It is Weston Anderson and the Gravedigger. Ringling Bailey Circuit. Brianna Mahan gets the 2-wheel skills win. Zombie Brandon Telechka gets freestyle and the overall event championship by 1 point. So good job by Brandon. To make things easy for a Saturday evening, Wesson won everything. Racing, 2-wheel skill, freestyle, and a perfect 18 points. And same thing happened on Sunday afternoon. They just forgot to change the script. A clean sweep for Wesson in both events to wrap up the weekend. Not much to get from Evansville, but something big is going to be happening in Indiana in a few weeks at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as Camden Murphy is going to be driving a new truck, attempting a new speed record as the set time is going to be 102 miles per hour. So, how excited are you guys about that? I know everybody's pumped.
this has to be one for the ages, really. A setting a track record in Indianapolis is something huge, and Camden Murphy, of course, being the one to set it. Of course, the last previous record holder is Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Bryce Kinney by 101 miles per hour.
Actually, his record was beaten by Joe Sylvester a few
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
that's right. Joe beat that, and then of course, well, throughout time we've had three monster truck speed records. Of course, the first one being Raminator Mark Hall with 99 miles per hour. Of course, the second one was just Bryce Kenny, and then the third one, right now the highest one is Joe Sylvester Bad Habit Gladiator. So for Camden Murphy and the new monster truck, which is I believe is it IndyCar themed.
I believe it will be, yes.
It's interesting how they're gonna do this. Plus, uh, of course, given to him that he has a racing background with NASCAR, of course they're gonna give it to him. But big congrats on Camden and good luck on the record attempts. Of course, I believe this one's gonna go for Guinness or just track speed.
I
I think
I
it's
wouldn't be
Guinness.
surprised if it was for Guinness, yeah.
I mean I don't think they announced it was Guinness, but we'll see. What was the previous record time from Bad Habit that he has to beat?
I assume it's definitely 101 miles per hour. I want to say maybe 101.3.
Yeah, I
If I'm
think.
actually no, 101.84 miles per hour.
Oh, okay.
That's the current
Yeah,
record.
point
All
eight
right.
sounds right.
Yeah, I believe it was there. So big congrats and big good luck to Camden Murphy in the next coming weeks. In Indianapolis. Indianapolis is huge, man. Like to do it there is huge, and the place itself is huge. Um, and this will all be during the, I believe, the qualifying session for IndyCar. Other than that, the rumor name for this one actually is Power Rush. So, what are you guys' thoughts on the new truck?
I I think it's a fitting name. Definitely looking forward to seeing what it actually looks like, seeing if the design will fit the name. But I mean, I mess with it. I think it's cool.
I definitely like the idea of an IndyCar monster truck. I'm glad that they're doing something different with this, especially like what you said with Camden's background with racing. I'm not too sure about the name yet. In my opinion, I definitely agree that I have to see the body and the logo to actually get a idea if I'm gonna like it or not. But overall, I'm excited to see it in person.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty big day, I would say. And actually they've been marketing it as a 3-day thing, so I'm interested to see if there's going to be multiple attempts or something like that. But I already have seen discussions where, Joe Sylvester is saying if his record gets beat, he's going to build another truck and try again. So you never know. I mean, this is one of those records that I think is just going to keep getting brought back and keep getting pushed even further. So, if this one does take the lead, I'm interested to see what happens next with this world record.
Yeah, Joseph Oster is also known for coming out of retirement. I believe he's coming out of retirement of like what 3 times.
Probably.
Like he literally just whipped out Nightmare Express for a gender reveal, which he is having a baby girl, by the way. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, big congrats to the Sylvester family as well on their new kid on the way. But next up is Greenville, South Carolina for Arena East, and I believe Dorsey was taking over for this one.
Yep,
Okay.
Arena East. Well, we definitely have a champion crown for this tour as well. We'll talk about that soon. But let's start off with the first show. There was 3 shows for this Saturday afternoon. We're starting off with Cody Saucier and Dragon taking out Triton Robbins and Crazy Train. Two-wheel skills winner went to Terminal Velocity, and the freestyle win went to Dragon. So you would think Dragon got the overall, right? No, he didn't. Crazy Train, Triton Robbins. That's right. Get the get that song going. Ride the train. His 5th overall of this season. Point shows. So congrats to Triton. He should be in the World Finals, but we know he probably won't be. But coming on to the Saturday evening show, Terminal Velocity, John Zimmer Jr. gets the race and win and also goes back to back with the two wheel skills win. But the freestyle win goes to MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco. But the overall event champion went to John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity. I don't remember what show he was crowned the champion. Was it the first show or was it the second? I don't I don't remember which show it was.
I
Or
couldn't
maybe it
tell,
was
to
the
be honest
third
with you.
show. Well, anyways, I'll just show off the third show results for Sunday afternoon. Crazy Train Train Robbins takes out Terminal Velocity. Playing Crazy Montana Robbins gets the two wheel skills win, and Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger gets the freestyle win. And the overall event championship, going 2 for 3, is John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity with 21 points. So yeah, I absolutely love this tour this year. The racing competition has been stacked. There's so many good racers on this tour. As you can see, we had 3 different winners. And there you go. John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity was crowned the Arena East champion. First ever independent driver to win a Monster Jam tour. Now he's the first ever independent to go back to back and to win 2 Monster Jam tours now. So congrats to Sendon Motorsports and John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity on another arena championship.
Yeah, he's definitely working his way up to becoming one of the most successful independent drivers in Monster Gym history. I mean, the only thing missing from his trophy case is a World Finals championship. And he'll have another opportunity in Salt Lake City in the next few months.
And he was super close to getting one in Salt Lake. Skills, if that truck had just 5 degrees more of that rotation, he could have pulled off that reverse backflip and could have been a world champ right there. So cards are all in his hands right now, as long as that truck holds up this time.
And even in Nashville 2023, he almost won the two wheel skills World Finals championship as well.
And had a good performance in racing last year. So he can do very well in all areas, racing skill or freestyle.
Yeah. Big career for John Zimmer Jr. Also, this is a hot take for me actually. Whenever we get a minute, Arena East was actually kind of boring.
Whoa.
Hmm.
I think
I
racing was definitely the best part of Arena East, like what I
yeah.
said, but I think overall it was kind of blah. I kind of agree with that.
Like the majority
I
of the
think
wins was Zimmer Jr. And I mean, I'm not trashing on him for winning. He deserves it, but really, it's like this was really a Gravedigger esque tour where, of course, the best truck literally wins almost every time, but that's where it kind of got stale for me. It was just terminal after terminal wins. I mean, there was a few here like Zimmer Senior. Of course, the Robins were getting a few. Logan Ashline got one at one point, which was crazy. Um, but yeah, Arena was East was not any better than it was last year or than Central last year.
I feel like for freestyle, I definitely would 100% agree with that. I think arena freestyles are not the thing for Zimmer Senior or the Robins or of course Logan Ashline, but I really think Skills and Racing were the best on that tour. And Skills was also great on Central, of course, because you got Tony, Fern, and Weston. But I mean, even MJ was getting creative. Both the Robins, that's their best competition. Everyone outside of, I guess, Cody and Logan was super consistent in Skills. So I think that's one of those tours where it's almost like a skip the headliner kind of tour. You watch racing, you watch Skills, but you just don't watch freestyle because I mean, let's face it, it's going to be it's going to be Cody, or it's going to be Zimmer Jr., or Kristen does a backflip and wins. That's really about it for freestyle. But apart from freestyle, I feel like the other two competitions were at their best for East.
Yeah, I
Also,
can agree on that.
not to mention, out of all the regular tours, so not counting Freestyle Mania, Zimmer Jr. has the biggest points lead with 125 points, separating him from second place, which is Jim J. Solorio. So last year was quite emotional when he won his first championship, but this year he just dominated it from the start.
Yeah, it was over as soon as he won, like first thing. Anyway, big congrats to two-time back-to-back series champion John Zimmer Jr. and Terminal Velocity will be seeing it in Salt Lake City. Of course, with the other tour champions, was Blake. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, talking about international, we'll see who gets that bid. You know, a lot of people are hoping it's either Mikey because Megalodon drivers are still up to debate. There's a word going around that it's not going to be John. He has things to do. Zimmer Senior may be it, but now that with all this Blake stuff going on, Mikey Waters may be going back. But that's if he also doesn't have any other plans, either involving with Overkill or anything outside of Monster Trucks around the same weekend of World Finals. Um, but hopefully it's Pockin for international. Wouldn't mind seeing another Digger or Pockin in Megalodon or any other identity, maybe even Dalmatian there. But we'll see what happens. Next up, we're going over to the only stadium show we had this past weekend in Glendale, Arizona. Jack, take it away.
All right, so Glendale, Arizona State Farm Stadium. I'm just going to open this by saying this is the best show that this stadium has seen in 7 years, if not more. This is the first show that I think has had as consistent wow moments as October of 2019. So let's jump into it. Now, we're going to start in racing, and racing was weird. And Tyler touched on this in trackside. And even I noticed this. They put way too much water on the track coming into the show. I even told my dad, the dirt was like dark, and I was like, I don't think the dirt in this stadium has ever been this dark before. Come around racing, Tyler says it's way too wet, and John Gordon says it's the closest thing to a mud show we've had all year. But with that being said, John Gordon takes advantage of those conditions, and he actually takes home the JCB Racing win over Dalton Widener and the Shell Shock. Also, a pretty interesting semifinal bracket. It featured Dalton, Bari, Gordon, and Bryce Kenny, which is honestly a pretty odd top four. But a lot of drivers, of course, notably Tyler, really struggled with that slick track, and it made for an interesting racing. In the skills challenge, with a 9.25, it's Tyler Menninga with the exact same move that he did in Nashville. Now, in this case, it didn't actually damage the truck. Too bad. He was able to come back out, but it was just about the exact same move. So that was pretty sick. Somehow, some way, second place was Bari Musauer, who just did some honestly kind of slow donuts. I think he should have been like seventh. Just to name a couple other wow moments, John Gordon Megalodon did a cool bicycle. It rolled over. He got a one-wheel save. Ryan Anderson attempted a bicycle. Kind of got it from one side to the other. Unfortunately, he couldn't save it, though. Cole Vennard went for his accidental, quote-unquote, backflip thing, but it didn't work out. And a lot of consistent moonwalks. So for how slick the track was, almost every driver out there was able to deliver, and that was pretty cool. Come freestyle, we're going to go back to that racing winner, John Gordon. He delivers. Last time John Gordon was in Glendale, he had the most mediocre night you could ask for. Comes back this year, and he gets it done. He wins freestyle with some of the best air of the night, and gets a little save in freestyle, which he follows up with a big save on the backflip ramp. He fills the clock. He was one of very few drivers in the event to do that, and that was enough to get him the win. Other things to note for freestyle, Corey Rummel, Send It Town, same thing with Ryan Anderson. They both were going sky high for those full 2 minutes. Corey, of course, ending with a bit of a Avenger World Finals 16. Bari Musauer, Zombie Stars and Stripes, he got a nice little bit of a save that would end the run early. He did still end up on the podium, though. Bryce Kenny, Tech Deck, Rec Deck, a perfect attempt at that kickflip. He landed it with no damage. I think this is the first time that he's done the kickflip, no damage. I know he did that with the Impossible. Now he's done it with the kickflip. And Zach Garner was some of the biggest air of the entire season so far. It would bring the run to an early end, and we would see some horrible expert judging. Mike Christensen suffered rear steer issues that held him back. Caleb Blood Sparkle Smash had a little bit of a cartwheel that I think was pretty cool. In the end, John Gordon and Megalodon picks up the overall first one of the year. I heard rumors it was his first one ever. I don't know if that's true or not, but regardless, huge accomplishment for John Gordon. Super cool to see in person. Bari Musauer somehow, some way in second place. I think that came from those very high scores. I'm not sure how we got them. And Tech Tech Rexec in third place. In the overall points, Tyler gains 5 points on Ryan. That's going to be something to look at for the series points chase. But that's about it for Glendale. What did you guys take away from this show?
That, like we said, Jack and Ed, that was a really cool Glendale show, and it had a lot of good momentum and wow moments, as you mentioned, between all the freestyle runs. And how about that madman, John Gordon and Megalodon? I think it was the day prior or 2 days prior that he got engaged, and now he's gotten himself an overall event championship. Incredible days that this man has gone through this past weekend. I mean, who wouldn't love to be John Gordon right now?
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't get to see the show live, but all the clips I've seen on Instagram, it definitely looked like one of the better shows so far this year. And like what you said, the better Glendale show that they've seen in over 8 years. But yeah, no, just to wrap it up on this Glendale stuff, it was John Gordon's first ever overall event championship. His speech was awesome. He mentioned his old crew guys that he's always wanted to try to get Bad Company an overall event championship and just could never do it. Was close many times, but hey, he did it with the Overboard team and in Megalodon. So congrats to John Gordon, and hopefully he makes the World Finals because I think he definitely deserves it.
I do know, talking to him in the pit party, he did say just about along these lines that, he wasn't planning to drive this season, so he does already have plans July 4th weekend. So although I do think he's had the performance, I think there's a good chance he won't be there just for personal reasons, which I think we can all respect. But either way, it's been a great year for John Gordon. Even if it was a fill-in year, this has been one of the more consistent years of his career, and it's been great to watch. And Glendale is really the epitome of that.
Yeah, Glendale. I like Dorsey said, I didn't get to watch the show either. I've seen a few highlights. I've seen the double backflip from Gordon. Makes me a little excited for Denver, right? Which I know will be the week after this one, which I am a little excited. Um. Also, talk about Glendale. We gotta stop Max, man. Oh, he got Ryan this time.
Oh,
So
jeez.
if you know what we're talking about here, of course he does the fall on trends with drivers. He did Dennis, Mike. Well, Mike pushed him. Um, he got several others. He
He did
did he
Blake
did Blake and
Yeah,
Carson.
Blake Simpson and Carson.
Which
And those.
yeah, and the malicious
and
one
Too Tall.
and Tutal. And the
Oh,
malicious one is still funny. Well, he got Juan Munoz, but the malicious one is still funny to me because Dallas was telling him like, "Yo, do something else other than that stuff." This time he did Ryan
He just gave us
Anderson.
a bunch of chores
Hmm?
because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I would too. But this time he got Ryan, and Ryan put the effort. Actually, this time he looked like he did want to do that. But damn it, he got Ryan this time. Well,
Bro needs to be stopped.
He can't be getting away with those.
yeah, Jack, you're slacking, bro.
Man, I tried. Dallas gave his best effort. I'm not joking. The last show of Malicious ended at like 6:30, 7:30. I don't know, but he asked Dallas. He's like, "Can we do the dance?" And he's like, "Oh, okay. You got to do this first." And then we did that, and he goes, "Oh, actually, you got to do this first too." And he just kept giving Max more things to do until it was like 10 at night. And Max was like, "Dude, I'm just gonna go home." And as he's moping his way out of the venue, we're all making fun of him. So Juan's like, "Okay, I guess I'll do it." So that's why it's like the dark of night in the video, because we had to wait until Max gave up just for someone to give him pity points and do it with him.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean that man really can't be stopped at all. Like y'all are psyching, and Brett was there too. No one said anything. Um, but he got Ryan this time. We'll see who he gets next. I don't know when his next show is. What I don't know when y'all's show is next. Really, you guys always go almost every time. But
Yeah.
Glendale looked fun. It actually looked fun, and of course, we're almost at the end of the series. I think Denver's a championship weekend there, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I think Denver is the last one because there's no more after this. Of course, we have World Finals in July, but that's a long time then. It's like a month and a half. Um, but other than that was Glendale. We'll go over to the points standings after this weekend. We're going to start off with, of course, Stadium Series East. Your champion, of course, mentioned last week, was Tristan England and JCB Digatron heading into World Finals. Heading out of Glendale, your leader is still Ryan Anderson on a 7 point gap between him and Ryan. Between him and Tyler Meninga. Ryan leads with 523 heading into Denver next weekend, and 516 is Gravediggers in second. Bar Masaru, Zombie Stars and Stripes with 444. In third, Dalton Weiner, Shell Shock The body survives another week with 427. And tied with him is Bryce Kenny and the Tech Deck Rack Deck, pulling a clean kickflip in Glendale. Heading into Arena Series West. Now, of course, back into the Blake situation. The team entirely got docked a full 100 points from first. So also taking over is back on is Ryan Vargas. Not 100% confirmed either, as I believe he has Arca this weekend. But right now in first, it is Amarna Castro with El Toro Loco with now 1,074 in first. Dalmatian, which was Blake Ranger's ride, now on to Ryan Vargas for the meantime with 1,009. Once again, a full dock 100 points from first to second. Third is Matt Cody with 927. Gravedigger. Fourth is Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack, 868. And fifth is Alex Barr, Earthshaker, 730. Your Arena Series East champion, John Zimmer Jr., wins with a total of 781 points. That's a 125 point gap between him and second, which was El Toro Loco, 656. Crazy Train Trine Robbins, 565. Cody Saucier, funny enough, on the website here, they accidentally forgot to put Dragon, which is just blank. It's Cody Saucier blank, 562. Kristen Anderson, Gravedigger, 507. Finishing up the top five for East. And on to Freestyle Mania, your crowned champions team. Winners are Team Gravedigger, Wesley Anderson, and Noah Bakken with 1,597. Tony Oaks and TJ Tiffany, JCB Diggertron with 1,470. Team Ultra Logo, 1,355. Chucky Pocken, Classroom Crusher, 1,187. And Michaela Talashka, Megalodon with 1,162, which rounds out the top five. And of course, the international is up for debate because, of course, Blake Ranger's pick is still up here. Of course, it was taken off the drivers' page, so we'll see if it'll be given to either Pocken, Brandon Arthur, or Mikey Waters. Which, of course, second is the closest from 238 and 191, only 47 points difference. So who do you guys think will be taking the international? That's if they give the international bid. Do you guys think it's going to be Pocken or someone else?
I think they might give it to whoever was in second place and Charlie Plotkin. If there is still like no clear answer or decision on who can represent Megalodon, have it be Charlie Plotkin. He's got experience driving the Megalodon truck, so let him have the seat at the World Finals.
Yeah, I want to see Pocken make it, but not in a Gravedigger truck because I think all the 5 tours will probably have all the Gravedigger drivers in it. Having a 6-1, I wouldn't really care for that. But if he was put into Megalodon, then I think that would be the best option.
Or
Yeah,
put him in Monster Mud.
I was gonna say that because now there's no one to represent any of the muds, so never know.
Yeah, we'll see if it's Pokken. We'll see who it is later on. But other than that, that is the upcoming standings from this past weekend. We're now going to move on to the shows for this upcoming weekend. Give us just a moment. Long list. So next up, I believe we're still on the screen here. Yeah. Okay. So next up, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Of course, the East Coast lineup. Kissimmee, Florida, the West Coast lineup, and Monterrey, Mexico will also be the same lineup as Guadalajara. So we move on to Monster X Tour, Tulare, California. Oh boy, we know that one person. Tulare, California. Paul Craighead, Barefoot, Brian Leach, Boss Gator, Carolina Crusher, Andy Sive. Wow, they keep changing the names. Andy Sevier? We'll get to that. I don't know. I hope we can get, if Joseph's going to clarify that for us. Rampage, Josh Garrity, and of course Stanley Hernandez, Werewolf. Crownsville, Maryland will be having the Renegade Monster Trucks with Jurassic Attack Preston Collins, Velociraptor Preston Perez, Virginia Giant Cliff Vowell, and War Wizard RJ Turner. Monster Trucks Maniac in Sedalia, Missouri. Crazy Heifer Lexi Overman. Fire Hazard Chris Davis, Ghost Rider Johnny Davenport, as well as Girl Power, driven by the same person. King Crunch Dylan Finley, and David Smith, Nitro Hornet. Marietta, Ohio, is the Monster Truck Bash. Awesome Kong, David Reif, Godzilla, Ryan Holman, Rescue Racer, Josh Holman, and a TBA slot for the fourth truck. Monster Truck Wars will be in two different places. The first up is Grays Lake, Illinois. TBA lineup for this show, and of course, is Allegan, Michigan, as well as a TBA, so we'll find out in the next week. Monster Truck Insanity Next Level 2 will be in Lake Havasu. Wait, Jack, how do you say this?
Lake Havasu.
Thank you. Lake Havasu City, Arizona. We'll be having Hillbilly Tim Manchester, Midnight Panic, Leroy Lutham, the Next Level Tour Truck with David Tucker, and Wicked Strong Jacob Galley. Kicker, Monster Truck Show, in Grand Junction, Colorado. Now, unfortunately, I just found out about this today, and it is on Saturday, which I'm working, and unfortunately, I will not be going. Also, it is like a 6-hour ride, and I don't want to do that all the way out west. Grand Junction, Colorado will be having Bigfoot, Josh Baumgartner, Dragon Slayer, Caden Morris, Farmageddon, Craig Christensen, Nightlife. Now, if there was a reason to go, it would be of Nightlife. That truck looks awesome, with Aaron Basil behind the wheel. Obsessed with Eric Swanson, and pretty obsessed, Misha Swanson. Malicious Monster Truck Tour in Petaluma, California. Joe Briggs, Elbows Up, Identity Theft, Sam Steinhauer. Mixed Up, Miles Parker, Rockstar, Bill Payne, and Spitfire, Nick Jones. Victorville, California, Monster Truck Thunder. With, so far, the Felon. We forgot to talk about the Felon, guys. It came back under a new owner, Gabe Montoya, which is, of course, the Misfire truck. Right? Or is it the other one? Anyway, the Felon is back in the Monster Truck scene. The rest of the lineup is a 3 TBA slide, so we'll find out next week. Monster Trucks All Out in Markham, Ontario. Bucking Bronco Kevin Lupson, Outfox Jim Pigeon, Robo Shark Sharon Lupson, and T-Rex Mike Worsley. Arona, Ontario will be having the Monster Madness with Psycho Pat Paquettes, Rat Nasty Ryan Como, Sabotage Crystal Carey, Train Wreck with Dan Carey, Dawson Creek, British Columbia with Crude, Jared Vogel, Loud and Dirty Perry Como, TBA with Jesse Como, and Roughneck Jason Court. Extreme Spring Nationals Monster Truck in Woodward, Oklahoma, with Crazy Heifer Dylan Fendley, Elder Abuse Mike Sofa, Fire Hazard Chris Davis, Smashosaurus Whitney Hayes, and Gator Tim Jones. The Team Throttle Monster Truck Store starts off this year within Manti, Utah, with Black Pearl Logan Vessel, Shell Shock Dylan Widener, Vendetta Mike Christensen, and Wildside Zach Garner. 2X Monster Trucks Live in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Brutal. Talk about brutal. We almost forgot to mention that this last weekend, in Kansas City, it completely tore the back half of the truck off. The whole axle was, the whole shocks and everything was gone, completely destroyed. Jeremiah Pros had a long night ahead of fixing, but he'll be back this weekend in Pottsville with Brutal. Jacqueline Hyde, Corey Kinel, Roaring Rex, John Ciasock will be driving this weekend. And Shark Bite, of course, a TBA slot. Dan the Man is also out once again. Maybe it will be Darren. We'll see. Or Jimmy. Who knows? And then Hartford, Michigan will be the beginning of the Monster Truck Throwdown season. Starting off with Frostbite, Kylie Kent, the Haymaker, Chucky Pocken, Little Miss Madness, Athena Kozel, Rat Attack, Jacob Ladrick, and Frontier Truck Parts Star, Elliot Miller. And then, of course, we have the remaining jam shows, only 3 of them this upcoming weekend, in Macon, Lincoln, and Cleveland. So we're going to start off in the Arena Series East from Macon, Georgia. 6 Truck Show, which, of course, features Gravedigger, Kristen Anderson, Crazy Train, Trent Robbins, Megalodon, John Zimmer Sr., Plain Crazy, Montana Robbins, Sparkle Smash, Logan Ashline, and Terminal Velocity, John Zimmer Jr. Wow, there's a lot to say. Who do you guys think is your top 3 here for the non-point show, post championship show? But I'm gonna start off with Jack. Who do you have?
I'm so sorry. My thing bugged out for a second. Which show is this?
Macon.
Macon. Okay. Let me pull it up really quick. My whole Discord just had a whole heart attack. Okay. Here, Nothing. You take this one really quick. I'll take it after you.
Okay, so my top 3 for Macon, Georgia. I'm going to go with John Zimmer Jr., of course, because series champion. And you know what? Let's go with both the Robbins brothers, Triton and the Crazy Train, and Montana and Playing Crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with John Zimmer Jr. as my top pick. He's a pretty unstoppable driver here. Number 2, let's go with Kristen Anderson. She's been stepping it up this year. Maybe we'll see some better performance, especially as we get closer to the World Finals. I think she's really going to try to hone it in so that she can perform better there. Number 3, gotta go with Triton. He's been looking better than ever this year.
Yeah, and Dorsey, what are your picks?
All right, so I know controversial. I'm gonna go with John Zimmer Jr. I know no one picks him. For my second pick, I might have to agree with Knopf here. I think I'm gonna go with John Zimmer Jr. and the 2 Robin brothers.
Yeah.
So for my picks here, it's going to be Zimmer Jr., Trent Robbins, and Montana. Let's go a bit on a fast round, guys. So we'll have to cut this short immediately. Lincoln, Nebraska, Arena West. TBA slot is Dalmatian. We'll see who drives. It could be Joe Dennis. We could see who it is. By surprise, it could be even Ashley Sanford. Nafajan, who are your top 3?
I'm going to go with the soon-to-be points champion Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. Also go with Matt Cody, the Gravedigger, and THJ in Jurassic Attack.
All right, Dorsey.
I'll keep it short and agree with those top 3 as well.
All right, Jack.
I'm gonna have to go with Armando number 1. Let's go Matt Cody number 2, and let's do Carson Williams number 3. He's looking great.
All right, my number 1 is Armando, 2 Tim Hall Jr., and 3 Matt Cody. Cleveland, Ohio is the next stadium show we have this upcoming weekend for Stadium Series East, as they're back once again. So a refresher for a lineup: Avenger, Jim Kohler, Classroom Crusher, Camden Murphy, El Toro Loco, Joe Foley, Excalibur, Mike Pagalulo, Gravedigger, Adam Anderson, JCB Diggertron, Tristan England, Jester, Matt Pagalulo, Lucas Stabilizer, Cynthia Gauthier, Mayhem, Chris Kohler, Kevin Crocker, Megalodon, Sparkle Smash, Jamie Sullivan, Thunder Roars, Colt Stevens. Jack, top 3.
All right, number 1, gonna go Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. Number 2, Chris Kohler, Mayhem. Number 3, Colt Stevens, Thunder Roars.
All right, I'll go next. I'm going to go with Adam Anderson, Gravedigger, as my top pick. Also go with JCB Digatron, Tristan England, and Mike Pagliarulo. No guts, no glory in the Excalibur.
I'm gonna go with Colt Steven Thunderoris as the overall. Uh, Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer. And for my third pick, Chris Kohler and Mayhem.
So for my top three here, I'm gonna go with Magic Mike Pagarulo, Excalibur number two, Tristan, and number three, Joe Foley.
Joe Foley.
All right, so that'll be the upcoming shows we have this upcoming weekend. Now, Nafijan did want to bring up a certain interesting little finishing topic. Now, of course, more news we had out of today is that you can do a Sparkle Smash type event at World Finals for 200 per person. Nafijan, what was that all about?
Yes. So let me just pull it up here. So the Monster Jam World Finals, of course, it is known as the Super Bowl of the whole monster truck industry. But not only is it a place where champions get crowned, but it's also the best Monster Jam experience that you can find. As there are so many more different experiences that you can get at the World Finals that you can't get anywhere else. Just like the massive pit parties, the track walk, getting more opportunities to be with the drivers, you name it. But there's also some very questionable experiences, such as the uh, Power Reels Rider Challenge for $200 per child. And just today, we got first word that there is a sweet treat social, a Sparkle Smash, that is $200 per person. So, if that can be an experience, then anything can be an experience. So, what we're going to do before we wrap up the episode is we're going to come up with the most ridiculous World Vinyls VIP experience we can think of. So, what would it be called? What is it about? And how much would it cost? So, let me go first to demonstrate, as I've had some thought into this. What if we had a World Finals VIP experience that is Ringling Circus themed? The Ringling Bailey Circuit meet and greet. So you have Corey Rummel, you have Brianna Mahan, you have every single Bailey Circuit robot that was spotted on the tours this year. They're all in the same place. And not only that, but the main stars and performers of the Ringling Circus tour are actually there as well. And they got like circus peanuts and cotton candy and all that circus junk you find at those events. And let's make it $200 per person because reasons. Can anybody else top that?
Oh, I got a better one than that.
Oh,
Okay.
geez, what you got?
So this is a half and half. So this starts at the pit party and it's gonna come back into play at the event. All right, keep that in your mind here. This is the JCB Dancing Diggers interactive experience. Okay, so this is gonna start at the pit party for qualifying. So before qualifying, that short pit party, um, so what's going to happen is you're going to be guided to this room in the stadium. So that's nice and cool in there. And you're going to see Tristan England on stage. And so it's going to be him and all the participants who pay $201. You got to have the sponsorship fee. Um, and he's going to teach everyone a dance that they have to do on their feet. And everyone learns to dance. And then between qualifying and LCQ, or whatever the order is this year, everyone gets to go out on stage and do the dance. And then whoever uh, is crowned the best dancer of the night gets to join Tristan England in his speech on the podium when he wins at the World Finals later that day.
And he starts crying, so you're just standing there awkwardly.
Oh, yeah. And then maybe you start crying too because you just don't know what to do.
Absolute cinema.
See, I was gonna do something like something that would never happen, which the first thing that came to my head was the Smash and Bass Hot Wheels trucks, where you just Feld buys like a bunch of Hot Wheels trucks, like the newer ones, and all you do is grab a hammer and you just smash them all. So you have the Smash and Bash hammer.
I
would
would pay for that.
would pay for that. And yeah, no, that seems fine. And then, you would have to pay $202 to get in to smash a bunch of trucks.
How much would somebody pay you to do that?
I mean, if they really hate Hot Wheels that much.
What about you, Lane?
I really don't have one actually. Yeah, I don't have one. I kind of gotta start wrapping up here. I'm about to leave soon. So that will do it from us here at STSL Off the Track. Don't forget to follow us at STSL Off the Track and listen to us on Spotify. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Follow the main accounts at Steel Time Sports League on YouTube and Instagram. Of course, merch will be in the links down in the descriptions below. Other than that, I think that'll be it from week 17. For Jack and Nader, Dorzy, Nafagen, I am Lane Flores. We'll see you guys next week for some more SDSL Off the Track. See you.